gentlemen, welcome back. It is us, Dragon's Greed Gaming. You are joining us once again for the Blighted Bulwark, our Merc Boar campaign. We are jumping into episode 9 tonight, and we got plenty to do. So, as always, be sure you stop by the Facebook page where you can keep up with all the latest news of the podcast, and check us out over on YouTube as well. Check out our Tale of Gamers for 40k and Warhammer Fantasy. We got some armies we've been painting and working on. Almost got those Dragon Ogres done, Sean. I just got to finish the bases, hopefully tomorrow, and then I'm cobbling together stuff for the Death Guard army. So
very nice, very nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to just use stuff I have to save a little money before I splurge, because I think we're going to go with Mortarion, so that's a pretty big ticket item. Oh, what else? Check us out over on, what's that other stuff? iTunes and Apple Podcast. Leave us those 5-star reviews, help us grow the channel even more. Tell your friends to come on in, subscribe, listen, all that good stuff. And then, if you feel so inclined, you should check out our Patreon, because we've got some cool stuff there. We are going to be starting up a new Warhammer Fantasy campaign for our Patreon exclusive monthly actual play, and we've got artwork every month from Kyle, and you get early access to all of our episodes 1 week early. So if you've got a couple coins in your pocket that you'd like to toss into the Dragon's Hoard, consider checking us out over on Patreon. We appreciate it, and we definitely appreciate all of our current subscribers as well. Shout out to a couple new subscribers over on YouTube. I don't always get the names. I did see someone, Napoleon, joined today. Thank you so much. And for everyone else who's joined in the last week or two, if I don't know your name or haven't seen it, I still see the numbers going up. So thank you all very, very much. And without further ado, I think that's all that nonsense. So we'll do a quick round the table here. We're down to 3 players tonight. Tyler may be joining us at the halfway point or so if he can get home in time. So we've got our usual cast: Frog, the Redbeard, and the Sean. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, yeah. Excited to continue playing Rilk.
Excellent. Well, take it away. Tell us who you're playing, anything new you've been up to, anything you want to tell the listeners while I prepare your doom.
Yeah, I'm Sean. I'm playing Rilk, the Pale One, who has the ability to use the Death Power today. So yeah, super excited to see if I actually get to use that and do a bunch of damage to people. Almost finished with the Tomb Kings, just waiting on 2 massively important units for them, the Tomb Prince and the Lich Priest, which also is like 400 points of the army. So once they get in here, I'll be pretty much done with the army.
So important that you can't have an army without them.
Literally, I cannot. No. I have to have a minimum of 2 characters at 1,000 points, but I found some cool sculpts on Etsy, so it's okay.
Something tells me they didn't do a whole lot of play testing at under 1,500 points back in the day.
Yeah, not a great feeling when 400 points of your army has to be characters.
Yeah.
But
And you look at the Vampire Counts players who can get away with 1 character in most cases, or in some cases.
Super cool, super strong vampire character come out and just beat both of my characters. Feels good.
Tomb Prince could take a vampire.
Oh, I don't know.
Tomb Prince is toughness 5, isn't he?
He might be.
Vampire's only toughness 4, man.
True.
So, I mean, Tomb Prince running around with a great weapon? It's nothing to laugh at.
No, I mean, he goes last, but still, him and his 6+ armor save.
Oh yeah, he goes last till he charges with his chariot that does D6 hits.
I think it's D3 for a Tomb Prince. I think
Chariot of Fire. You never leave home without it.
Yeah, okay. If you're paying for the Chariot of Fire, Chris, yes. You are right.
You always pay for the Chariot of Fire.
100 points of your 1,000
Yeah, you charge
Thank you, Matt.
you charge with your 300 point character and your 1,000 point army. You issue a challenge and you run the motherfucker over before he can do anything, and you go, "Sucks to be you."
Just
And then
declines the challenge, and then the rest of his unit beats you to death.
he defies the challenge, hides in the back like a bitch, and can't attack, while you then run over the front rank and nobody attacks you back.
Possible.
Hey man,
Possible.
if you can't make it happen, then maybe you shouldn't be a Tomb Prince. I don't know.
That's fair. Maybe it's just not for me, Chris.
It's true. Who else we got tonight? Kyle, what's going on? Tell us good things.
Hello. I'm playing Vrackh. Not to be confused with the Superior radio station in GTA Vice City. Vrackh is a songbird, and he is currently hurdy-gurdying his ass off. As for me, I don't know. It's been a long week. Happy to probably not die. I don't know. Hopefully.
We'll see about that.
R.I.P. Spug.
We'll see about that. Yeah, Spug and Spike, the greatest duo. Oh man, they will live on, much like Gildenkrantz. You know what? Their names are gonna get little asterisks in our list too. I think they deserve it.
Excellent.
Or should I put them on one line, Spug and Spike?
Yeah, I think that's better, yeah.
You don't get one without the other.
Tag team.
Oh, love it. All right. And last but certainly not least, the Frog. Once again, how are you?
Yo, it's your boy Henry. We're out here taping our survival version of the Apocalypse special. Hope you all are excited to tune in. Click like and subscribe.
Mash that button.
Now look at that, man. You could be the host from now on.
Mash that big skull that is the subscribe button in the More Forward universe.
The chosen one speaks. Go do it. I'm your host, the Great Unclean One. It's been a busy week, long week, but we are back and all sorts of stuff going on. Playing a lot of Total War again, crushing it as Torox, the Brass Bull. Beastmen are hella fun in that game. And making my way through season 3 of Walking Dead. We just met the governor in the last episode, so still feel the same way when I first saw the episode. Even though Michonne turns out to be right, she's being a total bitch for no reason, and the governor's being quite nice to her and Andrea. He's a psychopath, don't get me wrong, he's a fucking lunatic, but he's done nothing so far to make them act the way they do.
That she can prove, right?
Well, like, literally, like, everything they've done, like, they killed some zombies, right? They brought them in, they gave them medicine, food, patched up Andrea, who was, like, dying, and all Michonne does the whole episode is walk around with this disgruntled look on her face going, I want my weapon back. Meh. Like, it's so dumb. It's like, bitch, take it down a notch, okay? Just chill the fuck out for a second. Like, nothing, you know, that episode, nothing he says to them is unreasonable. You know, when they're like, we want to leave, he's like, well, we don't open the gates at night. Like, that's reasonable, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
reasonable.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, us as the viewers, we see him kill the soldiers, and obviously he's got his fish tank full of heads, which is fucked up. But, yeah, it made me not like Michonne. It took a long time to get around to Michonne, and still never know one of my favorite characters. So, anywho, it's still good though. I'm still loving. Yeah, the magic has definitely not worn off in season 3. So, still trying to see when that is. Although I did notice something in one of the episodes, and I can't find an answer to it. The beginning of season 3, when they take the prison, when Rick runs through to lock the inner gate so they can take the courtyard, all the other characters are like on the outside of the fences banging on him and stuff to try to distract some of the walkers so he can get through. And I noticed that Beth has earplugs in during that scene, And I don't know if it's supposed to be because her actress, Emily Kinney, is wearing them for her own safety because they're firing guns, or if it's supposed to be Beth's character wearing earplugs. Because one of the things you always hear in videos and discussions that discuss stuff about The Walking Dead is that the characters are probably all going deaf by the end of the series. So they've been blown off guns the whole fucking for 15 years, and no one wears any ear protection. And a lot of people argue that's why sometimes they get snuck up on by zombies, is because they don't actually hear them, which is kind of an interesting way to look at it. So I'm curious, because if it's just the actress, right? It's weird because I didn't notice any of the other actors or actresses wearing earplugs. And if it is supposed to be an in-universe thing, then why did she stop wearing them, or why is nobody else wearing them? So another food for thought. I'm starting to make a list of things I need to investigate further here, which is interesting to watch on a second. I was going to say playthrough, but it's not a game. A second watch through. So if any listeners have any insight into that, I would love to know, because I just thought that was interesting. Now every scene I'm looking at people's ears do we have earplugs? So
I don't see any earplugs on you. Okay,
yep. Must be deaf. Every time I don't see earplugs, I'm must be deaf, right?
After that, or it's the cup, the Starbucks cup that was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If it was the actress, then maybe it was just she wanted to wear earplugs and the rest of the actors don't care. That could be it.
Maybe.
I've never fired a gun with blanks. I would imagine it still makes the same amount of noise. But yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've actually fired a firearm. But yeah. So let me know, listeners, if you know answers to any of that stuff. Also, what happened to the RV? I'm still looking for that. Where does the second RV come from? Still waiting for that one. So, anywho, last we left, the Cretans, our great heroes, had finished up things in our last adventure, Bloat, where you eventually found the fattened king, the man Silas, that you had gone to find for his wife. She had reported him missing. Turns out he was in this dungeon the whole time. He got a magic spoon and fork called the Gorman's Cutlery, which made everything taste delicious. And the flesh golem things were just making him food, which he was consuming at a prestigious rate, to the point that he became gargantuan in size, filling up a whole room, unable to leave. You guys did defeat him, but not before Spug and Spike met their demise. I believe one of them was actually devoured by Silas.
Yeah,
And I think someone lost their magic weapon too, if I recall.
Oh yeah, that would be Spug, who fed the big king the vampire dagger. And,
that's what it was. The necro dagger or something. I was gonna say the necro whip
and the
got
whip.
eaten, did it?
Necro
Oh,
whip
damn.
and the vampire dagger. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
We lost 2 artifacts, huh? Damn.
Yeah.
Good thing there's not just one per dungeon. Interesting how that works. So well, that's cool. So you guys killed him. Then you heard a prophecy from the beggar Svendal in the town square, having all these crazy visions, and he foretold of a vision where he saw another dungeon that held an altar that could grant wishes and potentially avert the incoming apocalypse. You guys followed his description to some swamps not terribly far from Craven Ford, and you were greeted by a large green emerald snake outside the cave entrance. It told you it needed to bite you to allow you entrance, which you all let it did, or I guess you let it bite you, which seemed to give you some weird trippy vision from its venom. Allowed you to see some magic doors, which otherwise you probably wouldn't be able to see. began to explore said dungeon, meeting the head of the cult down here, Uteth, who invited you guys to join his cult, his family. You met some of the other cultists, you found some prisoners, and then you saw these weird part snake people guards called forked tongue devotees. And you walked through a big snake head mouth statue that was part of the wall that asked you if you were cultists, and that cultists weren't allowed to come back here. And you're like, well, we're not cultists, and let you through. And we ended where you were in a room with, it's like a big garden, basically. And the devotees, the alarm's been raised, basically. The devotees have tried attacking you, wounded one of them. A bunch more are amassing outside the door. And Rilk had gone off to one end of the chamber where he found a room whose description I didn't actually have uploaded into my notes, so I totally buffed that. And then Henry was walking around. I think he found some silver or something in a skull, like an obscene amount of silver, if I recall.
Yeah, I remember.
Like 120 or something.
Oh no, that was 750 worth of
Oh,
gems.
sheesh.
Yeah, I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, nah, it's 750. Yeah. So Vrackh is currently holding the entrance where he can potentially see some of the devotees kind of amassing outside. The previous chamber is the one that had a small altar next to a big pit of snakes. And then Henry was alongside him. I'm not exactly sure what he was planning to do at this point. And Rilk, there's two other entrances out of the gardens, one to the north, one to the east. You went to explore the one to the east, and you found another room, which I didn't quite have a description for, but now I do. So that is where we begin, unless anybody has any questions.
Nope.
All good.
All right, then.
There was one thing I had like jumped in earlier to try to cast invisibility, I think on Vrackh.
Let's see. We can probably just look through the notes here, or the
Well,
previous rolls.
Yeah, I think you retracted that and did something else.
Yeah, all I see are battle axe attacks from Sean, and defensive rolls. A lot of shields.
I don't know why that's the only thing coming up, but yeah, I think you were going to do it and then you decided not to because
Oh, that is weird. Look, everything is just Rilk.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
everything's turning up real,
Vrackh
baby.
definitely did at least one like hurdy-gurdy move.
Right?
I did.
Like, look at this. Like the last 30 things are all Rilk.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay. Well, that's Foundry.
Oh, is it
Uh, Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. But anyway, that is where we'll start. So, Rilk, we'll start with you just because we can get this out of the way. So you are walking towards what appears to be a large chamber. There are vines and foliage from the garden room that you're in that cover the walls, the ceiling, and the floor. And it leads and grows into this next room that you're coming towards. In here, the vines and the roots appear lifeless. They appear dead and dried out. Everything goes from this lush green to this kind of charred, brown, scorched color. Everything's withered and crunching as you're walking along the floor. In the center of the room, this thing right here that looks like a brain, it's not. It is basically a huge gathering of all these vines, and they make the rough shape of an altar. And upon this altar, you can see strange symbols that are carved into it. Now, other parts of the wood and the dead branches and things around the room vaguely make the shape of humans, as if perhaps there were humans here that were trapped, or perhaps the vines themselves grew into these human-like shapes. Also, as you enter the threshold, probably right about here, everything becomes dead quiet in here. You don't hear anything whatsoever. other than the crunch of your boots on the ground. It's like there is no life in this room whatsoever. It's not like a silent spell. It's just like it is eerily quiet. And the sounds of the battle back down the hall where your two companions are almost muffled and like out of earshot, even though they shouldn't be because they're not that far away. And being in a cavern, you'd think it would be echoing, but yeah, there's just this weird sensation as you kind of walk past that threshold.
Okay.
And that is where we begin. So, why don't you guys roll initiative for me again? I don't remember what the initiative was last time, so. Oh, wait. Party initiative for players begin. So you guys get to go first here.
Are we being attacked? I thought we were not actively in combat.
Well, Vrackh is standing and like he was actively fighting one of the guys, and then he backed off, and there's a bunch of them accumulating or gathering in the outside. So I think we should still keep initiative order for
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what happened was that one guard went off, got some more. I forget because we did roll for the hurdy-gurdy, and I forget how many you said were out there, Chris, but at least one was affected.
Yeah, that is true. What did the hurdy-gurdy do? Did it do damage?
Yes, so each round it starts accumulating damage. So let me get to...
Because some of these guys I've marked off hit points, so that might indicate what happened.
So they have to take a DR12 presence test, and then the first round it plays, it does D2 damage. I forget if we probably did. It probably got like 1 or 2. But
It
then...
did 1 because there's some of these guys that are only missing 1 health.
Okay, yeah. So then, and then the next round it will increase to a D4, and then it keeps going up.
And do they test each round?
If they
haven't
fail.
passed?
If
Okay,
they fit, yeah.
So they basically test each round until they pass or die.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so then it looks like it affected at least 3. I don't recall if it affected the guy you were fighting because he's got different health. So we'll say it affected 3 of the fresh ones. 1 of the fresh ones is unaffected, and the guy that you had previously injured is unaffected.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
do they do that on their turn or your turn? Do they test?
Since I'm the one running it, it would be like an attack roll basically. So they would do presence test on my turn.
What was it? DR 12, 14?
12.
Okay, I'll just write 5 d20s here. Don't get to see my dice very often in this game. Wow, all but 1 of them failed. Oh wait, why am I only 5? There's only 4 of them. Okay, so 3 of the 4 fail. Go ahead and roll your damage, please. Oh, and let's of course crank the music.
Yep.
1.
Nice, nicely done. Okay.
Hey man, chipping's chipping.
Yeah.
That is true. That does not kill anyone, but it does injure a few more. And now 2 of them are unaffected, so... Alright. Is that all you do, is you just play? That's your action?
Yeah. I'm just like pointing it outside into the hallway. And
Alright.
just kind of keeping an eye on Henry as well.
Okay, Henry, what are you doing? Does Henry have to test for that, or did he already test?
I
both
previously
tested him.
passed.
Okay. Yeah, they both
okay.
touched and passed.
Alright.
Well, I don't know. Should I get in front? I have more HPs. I don't know. I think we're gonna take point here. Can I squeeze in and try to
Yeah, you can get past him, that's fine.
basically stand in the way? And I suppose I'll throw invisibility on myself.
Nice.
Alright, let's see if we can blind your eye.
There you go.
Right.
Easy.
+5, what a god.
6 rounds, a whole 2. Not nothing.
Alright.
And that's it, I guess.
Okay, Sean, how about you? What do you do?
I'll go back to them. I don't know if I can get there in one turn, but I'll go back to them.
Sure, you can get back to him.
Guys, I think I found something. It's like some weird room that gets really quiet, and then there's a bunch of like vines that look like bodies.
The altar does vaguely remind you of the description of the altar that Svendal had
Svendal.
given. Yeah.
Okay.
If you guys don't remember, he had mentioned
Something
a
about inscription.
an altar with weird inscriptions and carvings. So
Yeah, okay. And then there's what looks like maybe an altar of vines with a bunch of weird carvings and inscriptions. I think we got it, boys. We
yeah,
wanna
you don't see Henry anywhere.
Vrackh, where's our leader?
Oh, he's up here.
Still here.
Oh, okay.
He's me.
Yeah, you hear
Oh.
the disembodied voice of Henry.
Okay, some devil magic going on. All right, Henry, love it.
He's a spirit now.
He's one with the Becklore. Come to lure our enemies.
We're not all spirits yet.
Okay. Well, if you want me to just run in and cast my death spell, I can do that. Give that a shot.
Don't really want that.
Okay, I'll save it for later.
Okay. Well, in that case, the enemies are going to take their turn.
I mean, there are a lot of guys potentially, but we got a little sort of choke point situation. So
Okay. Let's see. All right. Well, the first one is going to rush up, and he's going to attempt to attack where Henry was because he probably saw you go invisible. So, make your defensive roll, please. They're normally DR 12. These guys. D4 damage.
But invisibility is a dope as shit. Is it?
Oh,
So
God.
Oh, good old sixes, baby.
Okay. All right. The others, for the moment, stay back, deciding how to handle this. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to play my song.
All right, go for it.
Okay. Well, yeah, it'd just be a DR12 from them.
All right.
Whoever's still
There's-
affected.
There's 3 of them this time. And we've got 1 pass and only 1. Okay. So this first guy in front, he actually dies. He only had 1 health remaining. So he collapses. And then roll for the other one, please. Was it
Okay.
D6 damage
Dirty
now?
as fucking.
D6, yeah.
What does it max out at any particular point?
It doesn't say. It just says
Oh.
a subsequent round it keeps going. So 4
D100
damage.
Right. Damn. That's pretty good. Okay.
It's from some respectable plan.
It really
That's
is.
respectable damage.
Yeah, so Vrackh is just staring, just creepily at people while he plays. Just
Yeah,
like
you
looking
see this one here that you can still see Vrackh, that one grabs his ears and is the other one that's being affected right now.
at... Oh, there you are.
You can see him point in your direction as the others are deciding what to do. Henry and Rilk, you may go.
I see that guy keel over and get big for my britches and think that maybe it's a good idea to just mop up.
Can I sneak past Vrackh?
I would say no, just because there's... Well, once Henry moves out of the way, yes.
Okay. Did Henry move out of the way?
He did. Yes.
I
Okay.
am now. These guys D4 armor.
Yes.
No.
Gator skin robe.
Gator skin.
Oh no!
Whoa!
It happened.
Did you? Did you? do it? What happens,
Oh.
Henry? Tell us.
Oh my gosh. The Chaos Blade has dealt maximum damage. When that happens, power death is cast.
Oh, fuck.
Fuck.
Well, 14 damage is going to kill that guy as you just fucking slice him in half. And then what does everybody else do?
What's death? Is just like 40-10 damage
30
or
feet.
something?
Everything within 30 feet takes 40-10 damage.
I would say that
I-
everything in this room. 'Cause, again, I wouldn't say these squares are each 10 feet.
Yeah.
So we'll say everything in the room. Unfortunately, it will include Vrackh.
Wait. Hold on. I feel like the wording of that was slightly different. Death.
What?
All creatures within 30 feet lose a total of 40-10 HP. They don't all lose up to 40 HP.
Oh.
40-10 is still really good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes. Well, let's see what we mean by
Okay.
good. 40-10.
On
Looks
Big
like
Henry.
it's gonna be
Oh my
a
god.
lot. 29 hit points.
29 hit points. The 3 serpents die, just turning white and shriveled like someone cast Curse of Years, and they are gone.
Does it include this guy too?
No,
Okay.
he's out of range.
Okay. So how much HP is left over that I would take?
Is there any blowback for us? Or anything?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 4d10 total?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like the sleep spell from Fair D&D. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
4d10.
sorry. I thought everybody lost 29 HP. I'm like, well, Henry, you're gonna solo this dungeon.
that's what I thought, but
Okay.
Matt read it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 29. Let's see. This guy had 9. He was still at full health. So that's 20 remaining. This guy had 8. So that's 12. And the guy in front of Rilk had 3. So that is 9 HP remaining.
Okay. I'll take the other 9.
All right.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That is so
Dude.
cool. Well, you see the full fury of the Chaos Blade finally unleashed, and Henry truly is the chosen one, as
Easy.
bodies just drop to the floor in one fell swoop of his glorious weapon.
Look
is
at
gonna-
the
You've
power.
never felt power like this before.
Hands shaking. Ah, the power!
Rook is going to literally cough up blood. Good job, boss. Love to see you work.
That's a big hit. You're still going too, man. You're tough. Tough guy.
And then he's going to use his turn to heal himself with the medicine box,
Okay.
because that is an insane amount of damage. Hey, 3 HP is better than none.
All
And we're
right.
Down to 2 uses left.
Okay. So it is now the enemy's turn. You see stepping through the hall is Uteth and the other 2 cultists. And what does Uteth do? Let's see here. So, Uteth enters the room. He sees what you've done to his followers, Henry. He points his spear, telling the other 2 to rush forward. He's going to charge you, as is one of the cultists. And the other cultist is going to run the other way, around the other side of the pit, and attack Rilk. So Rilk, both of you are going to get attacked from a cultist here. They just have little daggers or clubs. They do D4 damage.
Okay.
Just DR12.
Do it. Nat 20.
Wow, make your free attack.
All right. They're DR 12.
Yes.
All right. And any armor?
Yes, they have gator skin vestments, D3.
Oh, that's one we haven't seen before. Ten miss.
All right, Henry, you need a defensive roll from that as well. All right. And then Uteth is going to try to stab you with his spear. So this is going to be DR 14 to block. He does D8 damage.
8's a solid number.
Yeah, that's not a small amount.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Critical failure.
That could be worse.
6 damage, and you get a bleeding effect. You take D2 damage every round for D4 rounds, which ignores armor.
Here,
Ooh.
wait. Maybe I'm gonna re-roll that one.
That's a good idea.
I got one omen left, which is definitely not gonna backfire.
Okay, so you're still hit.
No, he's
I think I'm still invisible for the end
yeah.
of this round.
Oh, you are? My mistake. Okay, then, yes, he does miss. Okay. Your guy's turn.
boss.
Okay.
Go back into the tunnel. I got an idea.
Yeah, let's move. I'm like,
Yeah. So
I guess
I'll
I'll wait for a Roke to move
Yeah.
forward.
I'll move over.
Oh,
down
you're not
here.
going into the tunnel?
No, I've got an idea.
Oh.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I forgot to roll something. Please roll me a
Oh.
D6, someone.
Okay, well I'll move back because this might change my idea.
D6 incoming.
Noise.
1.
Okay. There are several more of these cultists coming out of this southern entrance over here.
Uh-oh.
If
Is it this
it's
one?
not,
or-
I can't. My pings aren't working for some reason. Whatever. Yeah, let me put them on the map here. I forgot that they definitely heard all this fighting going on.
Oh no.
There are several of them rushing out into the room. So, put them on the map. And yeah, they're filling the room right now. There's 5 of them.
Oh, okay.
Good amount.
Okay.
So-
Before you go,
Yeah.
can we do the hurdy-gurdy shuffle? And have them do their presence tests.
Yes.
So I think we're up to D8 now, boys.
God damn.
Well, no, because these are all new targets. They haven't taken the test yet.
Oh, but it's while it's playing. Like if I keep it playing, it keeps subsequent rounding.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
because it's like a non-stop droning song.
Okay. All right. So there's 7 cultists.
Oh shit! Give me them bodies. Oh, somebody
Oh,
got a
wow.
nat 20. Fuck.
I got 2 nat 20s.
Oh.
All but one of them passed, and the guy who failed only rolled an 11.
Ooh, dang.
So
Well,
only one of them is affected.
okay. And watch, it'll be like 1 damage. Okay.
6 is good.
He dead. The one in
Damn.
front of you dies.
Oh fuck.
Okay, so my plan may actually work. I'm just
And then I gotta take the test for
Oh.
Uteth as well. He does
Oh,
have
yeah.
a bonus though, because he's the boss.
Yeah. Come on, fail.
But that's a D100. Oh, D20. Yeah, even with his bonus of 5 is not gonna do it. So it was how much? 6 damage?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and then I have a movement, right?
Yeah, you can still move.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna probably. Well, I
Retreat.
don't know. Yeah, retreat. Let's get back in the tunnels. Go back
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
the tunnel.
So yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, I could cast the death spell as well, and then we just retreat.
Oh, that was your plan.
Yeah.
I mean, you could kick that in if you want. I
Yeah.
guess
So
yeah.
you squeeze past me. I'll cast the death spell, and then I'll run up back behind you. Because
Sure.
and it's just I click the wield of power ability.
Yep.
Okay, let's
'Cause
give
you
it a
gotta
shot.
cast it first. Or not. Natural 1.
Shit.
Oh, arcane catastrophe. You read it wrong, you illiterate fool.
Amazing.
All right, what's the critical result here?
A gnashing, gap-toothed mouth splits open on your neck. It spits out your secrets and inner thoughts and can be silenced to sleep only with blood.
Oh, gross. You got a neck mouth.
Yeah, very cool.
And you took a point of damage, too.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna stumble backwards. Didn't work. Didn't work.
Well-
Fuck me.
Can you re-roll that?
I don't have any more omens.
Oh, I will give you an omen for that.
Oh. Okay. I'll give it a shot. Swoop
Right.
back.
Drain those omens.
Yeah, give it a shot, right?
Oh, buddy.
Ah.
Well, at least you didn't get the critical.
Yeah.
All right, but you still failed. Take a point of damage.
Yep.
The cultist horde is still alive and well.
Okay. Oh, yep. All right. So over there, I point to that room.
All right. Well, this cultist is going to charge in, as Uteth tells him to kill Henry. So make your defensive roll, please. You do D4 damage. Wow, he actually hit for 2 damage. Holy shit, the chosen one bleeds. All right, the rest are hanging back.
Okay.
Yes,
You don't actually see them. It appears they fall back out of sight.
I'm gonna give this guy a cut before retreating slightly to, I guess, get as far as I can towards the gap by the wall.
Okay.
What are these? D2 armor, maybe?
D3.
D3, you said. That's right. Okay.
Boom. Yep.
6.
He's dead.
He rolled 3 on his armor, though. So.
Oh, he's not dead then.
Well,
Well, I mean, it's 9 minus 3
Oh,
is
yeah,
6.
he's
Sorry.
He's dead. He's dead.
still dead.
Yeah, he's still
They
dead.
have like 5 or 6 HP. It sounds like it's great for us, but
Okay. How far do we go here? Can I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that? Is
I
that
would say, yeah, you
normal
can get to
amount of
about. Oh, I can't click because my pings don't fucking work. Yeah, about here. All of you give me a DR12 presence test, please.
Nope.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. You don't actually have test for this. I forgot. Well, either way, you
make me
still
waste
get the
a
20.
nat 20. Come on.
Right here. If you guys can see my mouse, you see a spot on the wall that has that weird shimmering that you've seen with the other secret doors. And let me change that for you because there is an opening there.
Oh my
Very
god.
cool. Very cool.
Well, let's-
All right. There you go.
Yeah, we'll start following in, see what it is.
So there's another passage that goes into another side room.
What do I see?
Are you going to go in there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Rilk, when you go into here, there's this small tunnel that leads into a smaller chamber, and you can see that there's a path on either side to your left and right that seem to lead out of this chamber. But inside, the walls, the ground are covered in these big, massive, like fern leaves, like very tropical kind of looking. And you see that there are. You can see that over here, the entrance to your left leads to a tunnel that goes under the floor and leads to the snake pit. You can see the snake pit from where you're standing.
Okay.
The other path to your left, you can't tell quite where it goes.
Okay. So this might be useful later, but let's check out that altar thing, right?
Okay. I'm going to drop out of initiative here as it seems the cultists are not pursuing you at the moment.
Okay.
So you may enter the other room if you so choose.
Yeah.
This far quiet room.
Yes.
Gotta see more of what's in here.
Yeah, so you can see that there is another path that leads out of the room. And yeah, that's all you see.
Can I check out this other path?
If you'd like to.
Yeah. Take a look.
Okay. So
Oh.
the other path leads into a room that has looks like there's two other entrances out of here. One that goes off to the northeast. The other appears to go to the west. You're in kind of the direction of that northern path off of the garden. When you walk inside of here, you are greeted by a ring of these 13 black obelisks that are carved with this endless spiraling image of a snake wrapping around each one. In the center of these is a large, lidless, empty sarcophagus. There is a large cloud of moths that appear to be fluttering in the room, somewhat above the sarcophagus.
Okay. Let's see.
Which
Oh, yeah, here's the description.
Oh.
Wait, is this it? Oh no, I'm sorry, that's for something else. The path to your northeast appears to be a staircase that goes down towards some other path.
Cool. Not sure what to make of this, boss.
is this empty? I'm gonna like get close to the circle without stepping over it and look closer into the coffin.
Okay. So as you do, yeah, you can see from where you're standing, the coffin is empty. There's nothing inside of it. The lid is nowhere to be found. As you approach, this group of moths begin to coalesce into a shape. And you see floating above the sarcophagus where the moths were is this scraggy figure dressed in a tattered green robe. Instead of skin, though, the skin is covered in multiple colored scales, and where the head of this humanoid figure should be, it is instead just this plume of black smoke that seems to be coming out of the like the neck of the cloak, vaguely forming the shape of a head, but then at the top of the head the smoke just trails off into like this endless cloud that just goes up into the ceiling. And within that cloud of smoke that makes up this creature's head, there are two bright diamond colored eyes, and across this thing's back is this massive shining Zweihander sword, like Cloud Strife levels of massive. What was it? What was it called? The Buster Sword?
Yeah.
Buster Sword, yeah.
It's got a chain. Part of the chain is wrapped around the top of the pommel. The other end of the chain is wrapped around almost towards the bottom of the sword where it begins to come to a point. And it looks like it's either hanging from this creature's shoulders or maybe attached to something on its back. And it floats there, and this is what it looks like.
Oh, that's super cool.
I want it.
Definitely one of
Dog.
the best arts
That
so
is
far.
absolutely my favorite art piece so far.
That's so
I'm
cool.
taking a picture of that one. That might be my fucking phone screen now.
The sword glows with this radiant light that is almost like a pure white. It almost reminds you of staring at the moon on a cloudless night, which, being from the dying world, none of your characters have ever seen. But if they had seen the moon, that's what you'd imagine it would look like. And as it coalesces, there's this strange, ominous feeling that comes over you guys, and you feel and can sense rather than hear a voice in your head. And the creature speaks. It's got a vaguely feminine voice to it, although it's very raspy, and it kind of has that the lisp that you've heard from all these snake creatures. And she asks, "Who enters my tomb?"
Hi, I'm Rilk.
The creature continues to float there, staring at you ominously.
Cool. Cool.
"What are you doing here?"
Sorry to intrude. We were just leaving. I just usher everybody up the or down the path. Down the path.
You hear her. She says, "Wait,"
Oh,
and
okay.
she floats in your direction,
Oh,
coming
shit.
eerily. She's about 2 feet off the ground as she floats. She kind of like hovers, and she the smoke trails behind, like where the top of her head would be, and she gets really close to Henry and kind of like swirls around him as she floats, and she says, "Where are you going? Surely you didn't come all this way to leave."
No, truthfully, we came to avert the end of days.
"Ah, you seek the altar."
Is that it behind us?
Even though you don't see a mouth or anything other than eyes in her face, you feel like there's a cracking smile that would be etched across her features right now. And you see that her head nods slowly. "All you must do is make a sacrifice to the altar, and anything you desire will come true."
Is there any way for us to like gauge her and see if she's being suspicious or not?
I suppose a presence test. I would
Okay.
say for this thing, DR 16.
Okay.
Makes sense. Oh!
20.
Damn, Rilk.
20.
Good old Vrackh.
She seems very friendly. I'm gonna hug her.
She seems to be telling the truth, although she does seem quite eager and interested at this prospect as well.
Okay.
"All
What is
you
it
must
you
do."
desire?
She stops for a moment, like she's considering. She says, "I desire to see your desires come true. I wish to see you," and it looks like she's struggling for a word, and then she kind of turns back to you and she says, "Satisfied. All you must do," and she gets really close to you, Henry, and she's almost whispering in your ear, even though you don't see her mouth, but you can like feel the smoke kind of pulsating against your skin. She says, "All you must do is sacrifice an unwilling soul, and your wish will be granted. Anything you desire."
As the rune said. Well,
"Perhaps this one would make a good sacrifice." And she motions towards Vrackh.
we're all here to avert the apocalypse, so we might need to find another sacrifice. Let's
Her
continue
eyes
there.
seem to glow a bit brighter when you mention finding someone else.
Ooh.
Perhaps you could use one of the snake cult instead.
Aren't they like your people?
She just stares at you for a long moment, Rilk, and she says, "No." And there's this eagerness on the edge of her voice when she speaks.
Oh, okay.
That's not a shabby idea. I was considering it myself.
Do you have a name, oh mighty one?
They call me the Swamp Witch.
Is that a name we've heard before in the teachings of the Beclure or the major religion of the two-headed dragon?
No. It's a two-headed basilisk, okay, not a dragon. That's different.
You're correct, sir. That's my mistake. The basilisk. Okay, yeah. Cool.
Alright. Well, let's get to it, men. Follow me. But I go down this way.
As you guys leave, you see that she floats back towards the sarcophagus, and once you guys exit, she seems to dissipate again, leaving only behind the cloud of moths fluttering about the room. Now, the next room, you guys can move in. Yeah. So the next room, as you can see, it is like a spiral, and it's this path that just winds down and down and down. When you look over the edge, there's no railing. It's just like a ramp that goes down in like a spiral. When you look over the edge, you can just see this spiral goes on for at least 50 feet, if not more. And eventually it's just darkness. You can't actually see the bottom of it. Vrackh, you can't go much further than about where you're at. When you try to take another step, you see a group of moths just kind of materialize out of thin air. And it's almost like they make a wall or a door that will not allow you to pass any further.
Yeah, the Vrackh would scream.
They don't attack you or hurt you or anything, but they do obviously appear and block you. If you try to touch them or move past them, you can feel like a force pushing back against you. You're not really able to actually touch the moths. When your hand gets within about 6 inches, it feels like you're pressing against like an unseen force.
Gotcha.
Each of you give me a DR 14 presence test.
16.
It'd be an 8.
10 for Henry.
Oh, I realize I don't have art for these things. So, what you see, if you passed, you see two shapes that are standing maybe about another 30 to 50 feet past the barrier, further down, kind of hidden in the darkness. You can see two creatures that they stand upright, but they have the bodies of kind of like a toad. They are wearing armor. Yeah, you see they're wearing like some sort of chainmail type armor, old and rusted and kind of falling apart. They've got kind of the slimy skin of a toad and the facial features of a frog or a toad. And it looks like, to you, it looks like they're guarding, like going further down, but they also are looking eagerly up in your direction, kind of straining their necks. And let's see if they actually notice you guys or not. Yeah, it looks like one of them notices one of you and kind of elbows the other one and points up. And you see that the other one looks up in your direction. They're clearly communicating with one another, and they begin to.
I'm gonna tell Vrackh to come back. There's something down there.
Yeah, they walk slowly. They don't rush up or anything. You can hear the flapping of their big webbed feet on the stone floor as they make their way up. And eventually they get to the other side of this moth barricade, and oh, I'm sorry. So they are toads. They have 3 eyes. That's their kind of distinctive feature here. So they've got the 2 regular eyes on top of their head, and there's a 3rd eye in between those and behind it. So their eyes kind of make a vague triangle shape on the top of their head.
Okay.
They reach the area where the moth barrier is, and they stand and regard you guys for a moment, and then one of them speaks with kind of this croaking voice and says, "Who are you? Why are you here?" The other one pipes up, "We don't get visitors very often."
Oh my god. Oh, we're just trying to leave.
Perhaps you can help us before you depart.
Oh.
In what way?
They look at each other, and kind of nod and look back at you, and one of them says, "My name is Skrulky, and this is Yaxel." And Yaxel just gives a loud croak. And Skrulky says, "We seek the croaking trident. Can you bring it to us? We would be most appreciative. We cannot pass while the witch lives."
Who's the witch?
They look at each other confused, like that's a stupid question, and they look back at you, and Yaxel says, "Surely you've seen the witch? You came through her chambers to get here, did you not?"
Yeah, okay, so they are talking about that woman with the cool ass sword. Okay, yeah. Okay. And does she have the trident?
We don't know where the trident is. It's somewhere here. I can sense it. We need it, but don't know where it is.
Gotcha. So we can't leave until the witch is dead?
We can't pass. The barrier is her doing. We'll do anything for the trident, anything you wish.
Why do you want it?
Because it belongs to us. We want it back.
Sure, makes sense.
Sounds fair. But what lies in the pit below?
I'm sorry, say it again?
What lies in the pit below?
They both look down at the pit and then at each other. Give me a presence test.
15, primary?
They regard each other and they say, "We will tell you what is below if you give us the trident. That would be a fair trade."
Mm.
And then Yaxel speaks up and goes, "We would do more as well, not just answer one question. And Yaxel looks over at Skrulky like that was a stupid thing to offer.
Right.
Okay. We've seen no such trident, but can keep an eye out for it. Return here. I suppose. Are you familiar with the inhabitants here and their practices?
We are.
And I suppose any customs or taboos or forbidden words that they have or keep sacred.
They appear to have an affinity for snakes. Other than that, they don't come here. I believe they avoid the witch.
That tracks, yeah.
Do you know what the swamp witch wants?
No, she's simply kept us from leaving. Don't know if it's intentional or not, but it is her barrier that keeps us trapped.
Well, I suppose we'll get to searching then.
Please bring the trident if you should find it.
Of course. Let us continue.
They watch you eagerly for a moment, and eventually the two of them begin to make their way back down towards the darker area of the spiral.
Sneak away from those folks and try to
Yeah.
get back into 10 with the altar. S quietly if possible.
I mean, the witch doesn't reform unless you approach the obelisks, so if you just skirt around the corner, nothing seems to happen.
Good. She's spooky. I don't want to talk to her again.
So, boss, like everything seems like a bad deal here. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, did I mention there were 13 obelisks?
You did.
Okay.
You did.
Just want to make sure I point that out. No particular reason.
Okay, cool. It matches the map. They didn't misdraw that.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
Sean starts counting them.
I counted. That's the second time I counted. I counted initially all the way over.
Okay. So what are you guys gonna do? You feel like you've probably searched most of this place.
Was there a path further up here?
There
Yeah,
is.
it just-
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There
It looks
is.
like it just connects to this one, I assume. But
You could go through the garden path and check if you'd like.
yeah, never hurts.
Go check that.
All right. Yeah, it does. It just connects around. It's just a small tunnel.
Like, battery
Gotta get that
not
100% map completion like in Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yeah, exactly.
206%, baby.
Yeah.
Gotta get those 3 squares that are outside the castle wall that you gotta glitch through.
You just got to wall jump, a little bit. It's okay.
Yep. And I guess there's technically the 2 paths in the in number 8 you could move around to
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
see.
What was in the secret door?
Yeah. This area, which
Yeah, and then if you go over here, what is there? Oh, so what you do see when you get to the end of the path over here on the right-hand side,
Mhm.
there is a very tiny space between the walls, and it looks like you might be able to squeeze through, but it's covered up by the ferns, so you don't see it until you actually like go down that path and look around a little bit.
and it just goes out through 10.
Yeah, I can delete piece for you here.
Nice.
Luckily, I can just maneuver the walls.
It's like a wiggly S door.
Yeah, it's a secret passage. So, yeah. Yeah. There's no physical thing, just the ferns are covering it. There's no actual, like, door.
So the area over here would actually like lead into the snake pit.
Yeah, so if you see on the map how there's those dotted lines, that's to indicate there's an underground tunnel. So it goes under the floor of 6 into the pit. And when you walk to the edge of that tunnel from where you guys are, when you get to the side where the pit is, it's probably about 4 or 5 feet above the bottom of the pit. So you could potentially
Could I like
climb
reach
out.
in?
It's kind of a far reach. You'd have to probably climb in there if you wanted to actually like reach the snakes. But you know, you can, if you were to fall in there, you could potentially climb out.
Okay. So if like Henry or Vrackh was there helping me, we could like get in and get out pretty quickly.
I don't know if I'd say quickly, but yeah, you can definitely get out.
Okay.
I mean, it depends if those snakes decide to attack you or not.
Right. Because I'm thinking, guys, if we need to make a sacrifice, we could maybe grab a snake and just kill it. But that might not work if we need like a whole ass person's blood.
Yeah.
And I know I think they had slaves somewhere in this area of the cave system. There were people like, hey,
That is true. Yes.
I mean, so if we can't capture one of the snake people, we could use one of the slaves or sacrifices, or go back to Becklor Central and get a person we're going to drop in the Crystal Lakes.
And preferably, well, I don't believe we have much time. And I certainly would prefer to eradicate one of these violent cultists rather than sacrifice an innocent life. But my thoughts on that were twofold. Well, one thing we could attempt is I can try to sneak up there, kick a cultist into the pit, and have you two drag him up from it into the altar. Otherwise, we'd have to grab them and drag them through the gate.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
And-
plan, boss.
So what are you guys gonna do?
We don't even know if there's any people in here, though, currently, right?
Yeah, they might have left.
I mean, I feel like it's better if we go together and just try to wrangle one. We're probably
Okay.
going to have to deal with the head of the cult anyway, so...
That's true. Alright. Well, let's all get ready.
Chris, how long is a short rest? Like an hour, like in fantasy?
Oh man. No, let me check. So if you catch your breath and have a drink, you restore D4 HP. If you do a full night's sleep, you get D6.
And does it give you like an idea of how long that takes?
It just just probably a few minutes.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, do we want to take a quick short rest, catch our breath?
You guys
Yeah.
can do that. That's no
Yeah.
problem. So everybody can regain D4 HP, assuming you have something to eat or drink.
Nice.
Big one.
And then Omen says you get 1d4 per rest. Does that apply for short rest or no?
Is that a real rest?
No, that's a real rest.
A real rest.
Big satch. But hey, 3 HP is better than none.
That's true. While we're here, I'm gonna, I guess, got some medicine boxes left for myself and anyone else that desperately needs one.
I'll take one, yeah.
Vrackh gets the big 4.
Needed it too.
Yeah.
Probably puts him at max health.
That's right. Rock
All
on
of
a
six?
solid 5, folks.
Ooh.
Good. Good.
So
I
this
don't mean to
first one,
brag.
Henry's gonna heal himself for 3 and Urlk for 4.
Nice.
And then
And
I
I'm at
have
max.
a single box left.
I have 2 boxes left, so.
Okay.
All right. Do we want to go and see if we can kidnap a guy and ace him?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Did anyone
Um,
bring rope? No. I've got dried food, chalk, medicine, torch.
I did bring rope. I've had rope the whole time since people fell into the hell pit.
Nice. Chris, if when I fail to cast a spell, it uses it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is that how that works for me? Because it's an intuitive power, not a scroll. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say multi-use, so I assume it's just once. Okay. All right, let's go kidnap some guy.
Okay, where do you guys go?
Well, quick powwow strategy wise.
Okay.
If somebody's standing at the altar and we can just kind of grab him and drag him through these passageways, I think we should do that first.
Oh yeah.
If that's not the case, then we'll have to probably kill the big cultist and then kill several other cultists and leave one alive.
Yeah. And then we should check this bottom area because we don't actually know what's in there, and I don't want a whole bunch of dudes funneling out and acing us. And if things start to go to shit, we flee back to the snake face and run to the area they can't come in.
That sounds good.
Okay.
That's a plan.
All right, if you guys are trying to be stealthy, I'll need agility tests for anybody who is going into the next room.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, 19 minus 1.
Got 14.
Slush mods.
Plus match. Damn,
Wow,
we
you
all passed. Oh, kings.
Okay, you guys are quiet. You may
Be
enter the
very,
next
very
room.
quiet. I'm hunting cultists. Oh.
Man, we should give you the Archivos.
Fucking freak. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Yeah.
An Elmer fun character.
Give him a big hat, too.
Oh yeah.
There do not appear to be any cultists in the snake pit room.
Do we hear the sounds of anybody?
Give me presence tests, please.
Dang, man.
Very
Save
good.
some for the rest of us. Also, no, not me.
24.
God damn, Henry. 24.
You do hear some shuffling coming from down the hall to your south.
I'm gonna do like one of those police maneuvers, like with the hand moving forward, like we got bogeys down the hall.
Yeah, and as you do, you hear, "Oh shit, they saw us!" And you can hear someone like moving away from the entrance.
Damn.
Oh, nuts.
Breach, breach, breach.
You guys go rushing through. I take it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, what is going on?
Yeah, the walls will not let me move in.
I'll
Yeah,
bring
hold
up
on.
the
The
rear.
walls are all fucked up.
Wait.
Let me fix the walls. Delete that. They're a little too thick.
Nice.
All right, there we go. Now can you move?
Yeah, I got into the.
Okay. All right. So when you, well, give me initiative because you guys are trying to chase these guys. So
Dun, 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 dun. No.
okay, wish I had the Benny Hill music right now because that's like what's happening. These
Oh,
guys
no.
are trying to run away. So you run into the room. There are 3 of them in here. By the time you guys get into the room, they are already running out of the exit, like tripping over each other, like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And yeah. What do you guys do?
Crap. He's
gonna
going.
make-
I'm gonna.
All right, here, let's do this. Everybody make agility tests. We'll see who outruns who.
sprint up and tackle a guy. I got an 18 there.
Oh wow, my highest roll was an 11.
Yeah, 20.
Oh no. Vrackh.
Vrackh trips coming in and busts his nose.
Yeah, so you see the first guy trips. The other two run past him, pushing each other, and one of them shoves the other and gets out ahead and manages to get out of the tunnel. So you've got this guy in the room who's on the floor, and the other guy who's been like thrown up against the side of the tunnel as they are tripping and fighting over each other. And then the third one has made it into the that main hall.
So can me and Henry wrangle this guy and just snatch him?
Yeah, give me a strength test.
Working together, is it easier?
Give yourself a +2 bonus.
His strength test or just one?
I mean,
That's fine.
jeez, you guys fucking manhandle him.
22
and
24 if I
17.
get the +2.
Yeah, you grab him and he's like screaming, "No, let me go!"
Oh, we'll,
And you
we'll
see
let
the-
you go.
The other one gets up and he's like, "Don't leave me!" He's like, "Don't leave me!" And he turns and looks at you guys and he takes off too.
You're next, Snake Boy.
And they disappear around the other corner. So
Okay.
you have one of them.
Okay.
You just
we
hear Vrackh go, "Stop struggling."
So I guess just drag him back to the altar. Can we tie him up first?
If you have something to tie him up with, sure.
Big Henry's got that rope.
Yeah, I've got some rope.
Okay. Yeah, you can tie him up, no problem.
All right. Then we drag him back to his new home.
Okay, well, you can
Altar
bring him
number
back
10.
there. So you drag him back, and he's like, "Where are you taking me?" And then when you guys get to that room, he's like, What is this? What the hell's this?"
Shh, 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 shh.
He's like, "No, I don't want to go in here."
Well, it's okay. Just close your eyes. It'll be over quickly. I promise.
What do you mean
Becklur's
it's,
honor.
what do you mean it's gonna be over? What the fuck's a Becklur? Let me go.
Hold on. You actually need to know about the Becklur, our god. Okay, and then I have to start to give him a little sermon about the Becklur.
Yeah. Do you have a few moments to talk about your Lord and Savior Becklur?
Oh god, just kill me instead.
Oh well, I'm glad you asked.
Well, damn it,
Um,
now he's willing.
Shit.
Yeah, he's like obviously scared shitless when you bring him in here. And as you do, your friend the swamp rit, which coalesces and floats into the room, eagerly kind of floating around, watching as you guys drag this guy in here. And she says, "Did you find a sacrifice?" He's like,
Maybe.
What the hell's that? What do you mean sacrifice? I don't want to die."
Wait, you work for a snake cult? You know what? Come on.
What do you, no, we don't sacrifice anybody. I don't want to die.
You guys have a snake pit. What do you mean?
He contemplates that for a moment in between sobs.
Like, do you just not push people in there? I'm like 90% sure we walked in on a guy getting pushed into the snake pit.
Just board the mice.
No, he was just feeding. One of the guys
Okay.
was feeding the snakes. However, give me a strength test as he tries to kick free and run.
Oh shit! I only rolled a 5.
Ooh, okay.
Or an 8 with mine.
He takes off.
Well, doesn't Henry get a roll too?
Is Henry still hold on to him?
Sure. I mean, unless I've been told to stab somebody by the ritual.
All right. You keep him from
Right
getting away and drag him back, and he's now crying, openly weeping.
Okay. So we'll hold him down, and Vrackh, you want to just do the deed? So we'll just drag him over, put him kicking and screaming on the altar.
Okay.
I
Yep.
guess.
Vrackh will, well, I guess Vrackh would turn to the swamp witch and ask her, like, does it require a specific weapon?
Let me see here.
Can we use her super cool sword?
She says, the sacrifice can be any way you wish. Then simply state your wish. And you see her eyes are glowing even brighter, as if with excitement. It feels, Sean, to you, it feels like a kid looking over your shoulder, trying to like watch what you're doing, like super excited, like she's like over your shoulder, floating, like to look past you at the altar, like, oh, yes.
Okay. Well, Henry, is this a good call? Are we doing the good thing here?
You want your wish, don't you?
Suppose we should talk.
We've killed many cultists before, and none for such a noble cause
Okay.
as averting the end of days.
Yeah, that tracks. All right.
The chosen one, that's right.
This is our
Chosen
wish, right? Are we on
Oh,
the
yeah.
same page here?
Well,
Yeah,
how
what-
do we word it? I think you should take lead on wording it.
Thinking we wish to avert the end days and prevent the miseries afflicted on this land.
Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense.
Okay.
Vrackh, I like how you almost slipped into your Trump voice there for a second.
Listen, guys, we want the best wish, right? We want a great wish, great wishes. I make the best wishes. You should see. I mean, we want to work together on this one, but if it was just me, it'd be a great wish.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, how do you sacrifice this guy, Vrackh? The spotlight is on you. It's your time to shine.
Well, Vrackh at some point has lost his mind.
Clearly, yep.
So he takes out the claw of the sloth and positions it over the guy's chest
Uh-huh.
and very slowly lowers the sloth weapon.
Does he just Braveheart him?
Yeah, he just pierces the chest slowly and then drives it past the ribs and into the heart.
Okay. He screams in pain as he dies. Blood bubbling from his wound as it drips down his sides and onto the altar, down the twisting vines that make up, or the roots that make up this thing. Henry, what do you say?
We wish to avert the end days and prevent the miseries inflicted on this land.
Yes! Yes! Your wish! Roll a d6.
Oh no. Oh no. Fucking.
This is a good event.
Oh, I hope that's good.
Bro.
The altar deems the pledge unworthy and drains the energy from everyone in the room, resulting in a loss of D4 from their maximum hit points. No further wish is possible until as many months have passed as total HP were lost. Everybody roll a D4.
Fuck me, bro.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Hey, only 2. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, 3.
Come on, man.
Vrackh, as you stab this man, you feel almost all the strength in your body collapse. It's such a heavy dagger. There's a rumbling and a swirling as his blood begins to bubble and coil around the altar in his body. You feel the very essence of your being get sucked out of you as this spell, ritual, goes off. The Swamp Witch is laughing maniacally. you're not sure exactly why. But eventually this sensation ends, leaving the three of you breathing heavily, and all is quiet as the Swamp Witch's cackling comes to an end. And I think that's a good spot to take our break.
Fuck us.
Cool beans.
Oh man.
Very cool beans.
We'll be right back.
Well, shit. Maybe our frog bros will have another wish altar at the bottom of their pit. We're gonna have to bank on that.
So
I mean,
we can't use this wish for 2, 6, 9 months.
we can make a baby.
Yeah. The miseries don't last that long.
And then sacrifice.
Oh man, that's
God.
dark.
Hey man,
Jeez.
shit is dark. I think you know what? It's because Vrackh is now at 1 HP that he's just willing to.
Basically, he was already a level 1 character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
big grab.
Oh, that's funny. Fuck.
Very
I'll
brutal.
be right back, boys.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are back. You have just made your wish, and you've sacrificed this poor, innocent cultist, and you've all lost some max HP. And as this sensation ends, the Swamp Witch eventually stops cackling, and she looks at you, Henry, and she goes, "Your wish is granted."
Oh. So
Is it-
we don't know that whatever the 6 result was, I guess?
You just felt like part of your very essence was ripped out of your body
Mhm.
as this guy died and was sacrificed. It felt bad to you guys, but she says your wish has been granted. And then she kind of dissipates back into the swarm of moths and flutters back towards the room where the sarcophagus is.
Okay. Way to go, Henry. I mean, we did it, right? Yeah. Good us. Oh, why does it hurt?
Hey. Oh.
Well, I guess thinking of other problems. What did that cult leader carry a trident? Do either of you remember?
I think Chris said spear.
Well, what would you like
I
to
did.
do now?
I did almost get stabbed by it.
Chris,
It's like a trident.
was it like a spear or like a 3-pronged spear?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. There's one other thing in here.
Uh-oh.
As this guy dies, you can't help but notice that some of the roots that make up this altar begin to crack and almost like open up. And from where you're standing, Rilk, you see there's a little compartment, and there appears to be like a strange little statuette of some sort sitting inside the altar.
All right, Rick will grab it.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I hit the fucking thing on my headset. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
So we initially asked if the cult leader was wielding a spear or a trident.
A spear.
Okay, so it was a spear. And then Rilk will grab the figurine.
All right, congratulations. You have a new trinket from the Tenebrous Reliquary
Oh, cool.
called the Plasmatic Fool.
Okay.
Spill blood over this profane idol while resting and roll a die. Yeah, weird shit can happen.
And then stuff happens.
You can get boost to your agility and strength if you roll even for until your next rest, or you can have your spilled blood becomes red poison, and you take a DR 12 toughness test or suffer 10 HP loss.
I would suffer that 10 HP.
Whoever does the ritual with it. So
Right.
it should be in the thing now. You guys should be able to access it. And here's the artwork for it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's laying on its back with drenched in blood.
But I'm just trying to. So, like, the spilled blood becomes red poison. Okay.
Yep.
So then so then the blood I spilled on the idol becomes red poison, and I can hurt someone with it. Okay. Not I suddenly lose 10 HP.
No, it's the blood becomes poison. So since you're holding it, since you're using the idol, you take the toughness test.
Oh.
Oh.
This just seems like a bad fucking item.
So you either take negative 10 HP, or you get a +2 DR bonus to strength and agility until your next rest. It's 50-50, man. You're fine.
Alright.
You had like 20 health, right? So either
14
lose
now.
You either lose 50% of your health, or on a 50% chance, you get a bonus for the rest of the day.
No, I'm
That's
at
pretty
14
good.
now. It's like 75% of my HP.
Okay, so then you give regular HP like a regular character. It's fine.
Yeah, or just keep a bunch of medical kits and health potions handy.
Yeah.
Or immediately go rest again. Wait, what does rest do?
Rest everybody.
6 HP? No.
I guess
won't
at this
work,
point
actually.
I can reveal the whole map because you guys have explored everything. Just so you guys can see the awesome the text for everything. It's quite good.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. That is good.
So what's the next move?
Find the
Guess we're sort of looking for a trident. Oh, well, if we're on our way out and we failed to use the thing appropriately, we're gonna scoop up the, like, billions of dollars of gems from this chamber.
I thought you guys already did at this point, but yeah, you can do that.
I haven't worked out what that was. Or was it like 750, so 250?
750 silver worth of gems.
And just say, right?
so
750,
250 each. Nice.
Great.
I now have 252 silver.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a nice even number for 3 players. I like that.
Yeah, it works out well. So let's go kill us some cultists, or are we gonna try to leave?
Well, if we leave, we might as well try to free the prisoners. Assuming they haven't been, like, cannibalized by various cultists. Although that guy screamed, he said they don't do sacrifices, so I don't know what the people are for.
This looks like a sacrificial altar, yeah.
He probably just was an idiot.
He was lying.
Alright, well, yeah,
Just try to sneak up on him again.
sure.
Okay, go for it.
What's a G?
14 for Rilk.
15 for Henry.
That's an 8 for me.
You're at the back, though.
Yeah, you don't see anyone in the snake pit room. You don't hear or see anything.
So weak.
Alright, we're gonna make the way east towards the cages.
Okay. When you get there, the prisoners are still in the cages, begging to be released, but there is no sign of the cultists.
You there? Did they all leave? What happened here?
Yeah, they explain that they were waiting for some time clearly waiting to like spring a trap on you guys. And after the scuffle with the other cultists, they eventually left.
That seems odd. Well, I think we must all leave this place, so let's see what we can do. And I'll try to open the cages.
Yeah, you
here.
guys can free them one way or another. Break the locks off if nothing else.
Pop it open.
Can we like check around the scale hunter's chambers?
Sure. Yeah, that guy Uteth, Uteth the Scale Hunter was his full name. So that's his room. Yeah, you can go in there. You search around, you rummage around a bit, and you do not find the trident. However, underneath some dirty old rags, you find a scroll called Slithering Strangulation.
I'll throw that to Henry.
There's no item for this in the game, so you just have to add it to your character sheet yourself. And I'll tell you what it does. It summons D4 rainbow-colored ethereal boa constrictors. And they each capture one creature for D8 rounds, dealing D2 damage each round. And if somebody attacks one of the snakes that is constricting someone, there's a 50% chance in melee. There's a 50% chance that the snake then changes and attacks the person attacking them.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Obviously, armor does not help against the damage as you are slowly crushed to death. And that is really all you find that's worth anything in his room. It looks like he probably grabbed his good stuff and took off.
What are these like black things on the floor in the worship hall?
It's a fire pit.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, we can continue to check through 2. I guess we should search through the bedroom.
Yeah, maybe
Oh yeah,
check.
I guess you can actually
early.
go in the bedroom.
We can just tackle the guy in there. briefly.
Yeah, all you find in there's about 20 or so straw mattresses, and there is a variety of like personal belongings. Nothing else of value though.
Did we actually like loot or check around 5 and 6?
Yes.
Okay. And that would be pretty much it. The only other place would be the Swamp Witch, which I don't really think we want to tussle with.
Yeah.
Wow, man, Vrack's got 1 HP. He can do it.
Yeah, that's my worry. It'll go from a 3v1 to a 2v1, and then maybe she can resurrect the corpse and it'll be a 2v2.
We gotta see if the snake at the entry is mad at us.
Oh yeah, that'll be a great fight. I mean-
the mystery snake. Wait, I'm gonna double check the bottom of the snake pit. Is there anything down there that I can tell? If I throw a burning torch into the bottom, there's not the glimmer of a big trident.
No, the snakes do part, but there is nothing there
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure.
other than bones.
They totally sacrifice people to those snakes, 100%.
You don't know what kind of bones they are.
Yeah, I'm just taking a guess.
Could be snake bones from dead snakes.
I mean, that's a stretch, but okay. Maybe the rat bones
I mean,
from Skaven.
I have a newfound appreciation for Skaven now.
So do we want to leave, or?
I do kind of want to leave.
I'd like to go.
Yeah, come on, Vrackh.
Let's
Let's help you out, bud.
make our way out.
All right. Well, you depart the sepulcher of the Swamp Witch, having made your wish. and return to the greatest village ever known. You return to Craven Ford. Once again, hailed as heroes when the deacon has her usual ceremony. You may all get better as you have survived. So, Vrackh, you might be able to get back to 5 HP if you're lucky.
Oh,
That would be pretty cool.
well, we're gonna find out. Buddy.
All right, what do
Okay.
you got?
All right, yeah.
Rilk gained 2 HP, so he's at 16 instead of the 18 he was earlier today. Gained 1 strength, gained 1 agility, gained 1 presence, and lost 1 toughness.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah.
Solid. Yeah. Oh.
God damn,
Henry.
Oh, wow. And a scroll? You lucky bastard.
Foul Psychopomp? Oh, yeah.
Oh, the undead summoning scroll. Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sick.
And 6
come on.
HP, man, you are thick.
Yeah, you thick boy. All right, come on,
So
Vrackh.
thick. What's your total HP now, Henry? You're probably over 20, right?
23, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
God damn, I would have been at 20.
That's epic.
Wow. All right. I'll take all of that.
Okay, well,
2 HP and gain 1 in everything.
okay, yeah, that's something.
So I got 3. That's cool.
You don't have any negative stats anymore.
Yep.
Look at this guy. He's
I'm in the
almost a real
green.
hero. Yep.
Yep.
Almost a real boy.
Let's just encase him in plate armor so he never takes damage.
Oh, yeah, that'll save him, I'm sure.
Yep.
Well, you guys may regain your HPs from resting, obviously. And the following night, the deacon holds another one of her ceremonies. Once again, giving praise to the Becklure and proclaiming basically how awesome you guys are. When this is finished, the deacon proclaims that the end has been averted thanks to your efforts. Truly, Henry, you are the chosen one, and the faith of the Becklure that has been put in you is, well, it is well placed. Once again, she meets with just the 3 of you, much to Captain Graff's disappointment, it seems, and annoyance. And she, I'm sorry, this is not the same night. This is a couple nights later. As a matter of fact, it is 3 days later, so please roll me 3 misery die. If you'd each like to roll 1d4 and partake in the apocalypse together.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea.
might as well,
Seems fitting.
boys.
There you
Yeah.
go, we're in a
Let's
bridge.
do this.
Oh, there it is!
Oh.
Right off the bat, Rilk. So here's what happens. Rilk, the following night, you're all awoken by, or I should say, when you awake, it's the same sensation you've seen when the black salt storms come through. You see on the horizon, it's forming, and you feel like, oh shit, here we go again. But as it seems to get thicker and near you guys, it dissipates before it gets to the plateau, and the salt, the black salt, does not affect you. It appears that Henry's wish has indeed come true. The seventh misery does not occur.
Okay.
Now,
What?
none of you can quite tell. You probably don't necessarily know that it's 7 miseries until the world ends, so you may not realize how close on the precipice you are, but all of you can tell that clearly another salt storm was coming through, and it very suddenly and unexplainably dissipates. Of course, your minds race to the fact that you made the wish at the altar. Now, in total, 3 days later, the deacon summons the 3 of you back to the rotting oak. It is just the 4 of you, as she is waiting as usual in front of the altar. And she says, "Chosen one, the end has been averted, but evil's foul forces still threaten our home. The Becklure has shown me a terrible creature, a demon that has escaped its prison in the dark forests of Sarkash. You must travel there, kill it. It must be slain, or all of your efforts at the altar will be for naught, and instead we will meet our end by the hands of this creature."
We shall vanquish this beast.
The Becklure can show us more, but only if one of you is willing to be a sacrifice to the Becklure. I can tell you how it can be defeated and where it hides.
All right, I can see you guys staring at me. That's
Rook is literally
fucking
looking
rude.
at Vrackh.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
I think like Vrackh would be looking to the left and right and just kind of slump his shoulders, nose still broken, feeling a little better, but not really.
Only 3
and-
HP.
And knowing he like kind of brought that weakness upon himself by killing someone else, I think Vrackh would be open to it, especially if it would appease the Becklure and the Deacon.
Wow. Okay,
Damn,
so
son.
for a moment there's the awkward silence as everyone is thinking the same thing, it seems. And after a moment, the deacon steps to the left off to where Vrackh is standing. She stands before you. Is this what you wish, Vrackh? Will you willingly sacrifice yourself to our Becklure to further the Chosen One's journey and save our town?
Yeah, Vrackh would bow. Of course, my Deacon.
She puts a hand on the top of your head in a very loving, motherly sort of way. Then you need not kneel. You may stand with pride, knowing that you will further enlighten the Chosen One. Gather the town. She says, gather the town at the crystal depths in 1 hour.
Oh man, we're sacrificing him that way. I forgot.
Convenience.
I think Vrackh just remembered too.
We're all like, okay, it'll be a quick execution death. Like, no, he is drowning in the crystal depth.
Forever.
Oof.
Yeah, so he'd a lump would form in his throat and he'd swallow it and kind of lean into it. But he would turn to Henry and kind of just offload most of his things and say, these would be of better use to you, Chosen One. So you would have the Claw of the Sloth, 1 hurdy-gurdy, 1 short sword, and 4 water skins, and 2 dried
What?
fruit.
4 water skins? What? You are a weirdo.
Yeah, hey man, that came with the dude.
Yeah, it's just how it does the.
Yeah.
You have
That's
4
a
uses
weird-
of your water skin.
Oh, okay. It's not 4 water. Okay. That's...
Yeah.
Like,
But
man,
I understand with the
Yeah.
hurdy-gurdy, you're thinking he's just, stacked up with water skins.
It got so much water, dude.
He's the water
days.
boy.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, the
That all
water
makes
is gonna
sense
be
now.
drowned. Yeah, it all
Yeah.
makes sense.
High quality H2O.
Are you gonna drop me in the water?
The back
And
blue is
also-
strong.
It's because he got all them teeth and no toothbrush. I also have 360 silver. So
Oh my god. Okay.
yep.
Hopefully your new character can use the arquebus.
And you see Vrackh reach for the belt buckle on his pants. And you guys are like, no, you can just keep your pants.
No, that's fine.
You don't need these? All
I
right.
think we have enough belts and pants and clothes in the town. You're good to go.
Not like I have any more pride.
Well, goddamn.
But yeah.
Died the way he lived, pantsless.
Pathetically.
God, without silver. Yep. All said.
Well, then what ultimately happens is a procession gathers in front of the rotting oak, led by the deacon with Henry and Rilk behind her, and then Graft, and then the rest of the town, leading Vrackh as the sun begins to set and the trees begin to eat up the path out of the town. You guys make your way to the crystal depths, the one large pool of clear crystal water outside the plateau where you normally execute traitors and heretics. Everyone gathers around the pool, and the deacon speaks once more. She says to everyone assembled, "The Chosen One has prevented the end, averted the death of this world. You have all seen it. You have all felt it. You all know in your hearts it is truth. However, the Backlure has shown me another danger, another evil that stirs in the northern forest of Sarkash. A terrible demon has escaped its prison, and if it is not stopped, all is lost, and the Chosen One's efforts will have been for nothing. Tonight, Vrackh here offers himself up into the loving embrace of the Becklure, so that the Chosen One may find the path and find the weakness of this creature, so that it can be slain and banished from whence it came. Through his sacrifice, his willing, selfless sacrifice, shall Craven Ford endure, and our Chosen One grant us freedom and safety once again. At this point, she turns to Henry and Rilk. Some of the other guards bring forth chains that you normally shackle on to the person, and those chains are attached to tied to like a big rock. In this case, there is a shackle for each of his 4 limbs and one for his neck, and at the end of each shackle there are large stones, one of which would probably be enough to pull him under. In this case, there are 5. And she nods as the guards hand you each 2 of the shackles, and she takes the 5th one. And then she nods to the 2 of you.
Yeah, Rilk would, clasp it on, and I'm sorry, Vrackh. Thank you for your sacrifice.
Yeah, Vrackh would be just kind of shaking, but nodding.
Henry?
Henry goes up to Vrackh and says, few of the Bulwark have been as successful at this vanquishing of threats to Craven Ford as you have. I'm sorry that you have to depart us so soon. And he, bleary-eyed, gives him a hug before sneakily shackling one of his arms.
Yeah. It was an honor to serve with the Chosen One.
Once the 2 of you have shackled him, the deacon walks up in front of him, stares at him for a long, awkward moment. You can't see her eyes in the shadows of her mask. You're not even sure if she has eyes. It's hard to tell. Eventually, she takes the last shackle, basically a collar, in both hands, puts it around your neck. She puts one of her hands on your chest. Tonight may be your last, but you go to the embrace of the Becklure, and unlike all that have come before you, it is not as punishment. It is not because you are a heretic. It is not because of a crime, but because you truly are a champion of Craven Ford. Go now, my child. Seek his embrace and guide our path. And at that, you see 3 of the guards each pick up a separate boulder, and then obviously they wait for you 2 to each pick up another of the boulders. And once all 5 of you are holding them, she looks at you one last time, Vrackh. She doesn't say anything, but you get the feeling she's giving you a chance to say something if you wish.
Yeah, Vrackh would look around to the crowd and say, for you all, for Craven Ford, for the Bulwark, for the Becklure. And then he would nod to Henry.
It's been an honor. And Henry begins to heave his boulder into the depths.
As you do, the other guards follow suit. Rilke, do you do the same?
Yeah.
With a loud splash, and very quickly, they yank Vrackh off his feet, dragging him into the depths. And as the splash settles, everyone else basically says the Amen version of whatever your religion or prayer is to the Becklure. And you slowly see him get smaller and smaller. You're able to watch him sink for probably a good minute before he's out of sight, because the pool is so clear and the water becomes very still very quickly after he hits the water, almost like an Olympic diver trying to minimize their splash when they dive. The boulders in his body do not give off like the cannonball type splash you would expect, and all is still as he sinks. Vrackh, you're staring up as the faces of your recent companions grow smaller, and the speck of light that is the surface begins to get further and further out of sight. A sensation of burning in your chest from lack of breath, cold of the water as you get further away from the light, and crushing from a pressure you couldn't believe snuffs out your existence, and you are no more. The last sensation you have is one of absolute terror as you feel what you're imagining is the presence, the actual feeling of the Becklure. In your mind, as everything goes black, you see a dark, murky pool of water. And out from this water, you see this creature emerge. The top of its head looks like that of a man, or a humanoid, and you see what looks like waterlogged skin, as if a body had been in water for far too long. Its eyes are just black, empty, soulless pits. Its hair matted, tangled, if it even is hair. Perhaps it's seaweed or some other plant life under the water. And there's this feeling of this ancient, old presence. And as this thing emerges out of the water, you don't really see the rest of it. As its mouth opens, you can't even really tell if it's that of a human mouth or something else. But you are swallowed, terrified, as your very soul and essence is engulfed. It is not a feeling of love. It is not a feeling of comfort. It is one of absolute dread and terror. And that is where Vrack's story will end. Meanwhile, up on the surface, the deacon holds her hands out high, chanting, praying. She falls to her knees in a way you've never seen her act before. Everyone is silent, aside from a few gasps, wondering what's happening. And eventually, as her back stops arching and she kind of regains her composure, she stands and she then speaks. The Becklure has answered us, Chosen One. The path ahead is clear.
Where
And
must we go?
With that, she turns and beckons for you all to follow as she leads you back into the town as the twisting forest engulfs the path behind you guys, closing off Cravenford from the outside world. She leads you back towards the Rotting Oak, and she basically tells the crowd to disperse. You can see Captain Graff comes to join you guys. She holds a hand up. No, not you. Only them. I actually should say only the Chosen One. And she leads you inside, Henry, leaving Rilk with a very upset, angry-looking Captain Graft, who eventually stomps off. Several of the guards follow him as the crowd departs.
Does Rilk get the sense that the guards that are following the captain also don't like us?
Give me a presence test.
Okay. My newly buffed presence. Radical, an 8.
You're not sure. They might just be following him because he's the captain and they're not sure what else to do. It's a really awkward situation.
Yeah.
Inside the Rotting Oak, your footsteps echo in this rather quiet place. It seems a bit darker and somber, with just the two of you in here, Henry. She stands in front of the altar, facing it, her back to you as you're standing, behind her in the aisle that leads up to the altar. And then eventually she turns to you and she says, Chosen One, the Becklure has spoken. He has shown me what must be done. You must travel north to Sarkash. There, you will find a valley. Within that valley lies the Death Ziggurat. That was the prison of this demon. That is where you will find it. But be warned, the Ziggurat is hidden in another realm. The priests carry the keys. Find the priests, find the key, find the demon. She then seems to wait for several moments. Do you see anything?
As the Becklure wills it, it shall be done.
This is the first time you will be traveling so far from Cravenford. I suggest you take extra members of the Bulwark with you, for resupply will not be easy.
We shall. We must form a caravan.
She then turns back towards the altar, and there's another long silence. And then eventually she says, Henry, you are the chosen one. You may very well be the key to all of our salvations. Not just Cravenford, but the rest of this dying world. A time will come when you will have to make a choice to determine the fate of all that reside in it. Will you be ready? And
Takes a big sigh and says,
at that,
yes, of course.
At that, she bows and then kneels in front of the altar, kind of lowering her head in supplication. And perhaps several minutes go by before you realize that perhaps this conversation has ended.
You know, bow silently and back out of the building.
Yeah, she really doesn't even move a muscle as you depart. And when you get to the doors of the temple, you can see that she's still there with her head bowed in front of the altar. And you come outside to find Rilk still standing there, probably with a, I would imagine, somewhat worried expression on his face.
Hey, boss. Captain of the guard left. Just been waiting here diligently.
Good.
Yeah.
We'll need to travel far for this next one. I guess we'll gather some folks and see what supplies we can take with us. At least I
Okay.
have that cart lying around somewhere.
Yeah. And there's that talking horse that one of our guys left.
How could you forget Torvin?
Maybe we could afford a normal horse.
We do have like 750 silver between us now.
I mean, there's not a lot of... Well, I don't know how many pack animals out around.
Before we go on, I must add Vrackh to the list. And he's going to get two asterisks for his glorious sacrifice.
Yeah. What a king.
Truly champion.
Truly the chosen one.
That was scary.
Yeah, his end was a little dark. Pretty, ugh.
And the best part is, only he knows about it.
Not a good sign.
Kyle, why don't you introduce us to your new character, as you will obviously be one of the several guards that you take with. For out-of-game purposes, you'll take several guards in case anybody dies, because you're going to be a bit far away from Cravenford. Just go get help. So, there are... Let's see how many guards are actually remaining at this point.
Yeah,
We
seriously.
still gotta have like 30, right?
I think we're in our late 20s. We have to be.
That's what I tell people at bars.
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hold on, I can't count. Hold on.
Yeah, it's hard. I have to take my socks off.
There are still 32 guards remaining.
Ooh, yeah.
Ah, fuck, I was close. Okay.
I mean,
18 have died, along with 2 dogs. 2 small but vicious dogs.
the dogs don't really count, though.
Hell yeah, they do.
Would that one guy count as a raven and not a person?
Yes.
No, he was.
Two
I
of
mean-
my guys were lizards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, why don't you introduce us to your new character, and you guys can discuss what gear you want to take before you depart, and yeah, we'll do that.
Sure thing. So I am a heretical priest. My name is Dorp. And picture Dorp as basically Uncle Fester.
Oh.
He is very wide. He has chronic athlete's foot. He stinks and he fidgets incessantly. And yeah, so heretical priest. So that means he has something called the stolen. Is it meter or miter? It's that big. It's the big silly hat that dudes wear in most like Catholic or maybe Christian persuasion religions. So like bishop hat, big old big old upside down diamond looking thing. And while he wears that, he becomes hard to hit because he's like almost invisible. And if he pulls it over his ears outside of combat, he becomes pretty much invisible, and he tests stealth against a DR8. So that's pretty cool.
So you're a heretical priest named Dorp in all caps.
Yep.
With a magic bishop's hat.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, I'm also at -3 strength and -1 toughness.
Oh.
And I also own a flail, so this is gonna get real interesting. Boys.
What's your agility?
+1.
Okay, you're getting the archivist.
Oh, great.
Oh my god, dude, you're my new favorite character. Your Uncle Festus with a black powder rifle?
Yeah.
Best character concept ever.
We need to go buy more ammo though, because it only came with 4 shots.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Do you want a flail then?
I think my trusty battle axe has done me well, but I'll carry the flail in case I fucking throw my battle axe to the winds.
Okay. I'll drag this big fucker over here.
That's awesome. Oh my god, the arquebus. Yes. Now there were some extra rules for black powder weapons.
Yeah, I'm looking at them now.
Just FYI.
Loud. Lesser creatures might roll morale when a shot is fired.
Those are all the RPGs.
Ignores armor. Oh, that's so good.
It's a DR 14 to hit though, so it is a little
Ooh.
bit trickier, but does D10 damage.
I mean, he's got a
Yeah.
higher chance of hitting with the arquebus than he does with his melee weapon.
Oh no, makes
Very true.
sense. Yeah, I mean this
Just-
this weapon's normally 180 silver, so
Can we find the pistolet, the one-handed one?
nope.
Okay, so 10 powder shots would be 50 silver. That's not bad.
Load me up.
Well, not after you find 750 random silver in a dungeon.
Right,
yeah.
Seriously.
Can we give him a double bandolier?
I
Like
mean,
an X
the
of ammo?
250, that's yours, Kyle. So do a job.
Yes, but I would say each bandolier will take up 1 encumbrance.
Okay.
Because I imagine, black powder is tricky enough as it is, but
Mhm.
this is Merkbor, so I'm going to assume it's super impractical and very difficult to wield and carry around. The lead is probably not perfectly rounded for bullets, so it's probably extra heavy, and you got to carry an obscene amount of powder, and it's probably a fucking chore to use this thing. But
Yeah.
it is also really good, as indicated by the amazing picture of this guy blowing the demon's head
God,
off.
that's so cool.
Just put it in his mouth and pull the trigger.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
All right, let's see. I'll try and rename this because I have rope, but I'll just make that bandolier 2.
Yeah, that's fine.
Should we buy extra armor so if people die they can get kitted out with armor?
I mean, there's probably only so much this guy has to sell, but
Yeah.
if you wanna, I suppose if you want to have
Yeah, I don't have any armor.
a spare suit of armor or 2 in the bank, you can.
I don't suppose he has any heavy armor.
I mean, I think at this point you guys could probably buy a suit or 2. Tell you what, roll me a high or low.
It's always 69, Chris. It does not change.
Okay, well, good choice.
Ooh, it's
He
so
ha-
close to 69. Dude.
He has 2 suits of heavy armor you may purchase. They're 200 apiece.
Chris, this is the first time 69 has actually worked for me.
I know.
Hey, there you go, buddy.
I
You
will.
know.
I will witness that. Since Gallows fucking Geist, man.
Gallows guys, the entire fucking 14 or 15 sessions of
Zilch.
Warhammer game, all of these, man, it feels good to finally get a win.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
a
You
good
crossed-
one. It's a good one.
You
yeah.
crossed that
Yeah.
finish line.
yeah. Well, I think Rilke's gonna buy himself heavy armor.
I'm just gonna mosey on over here and buy this armor. It's gonna be pretty cool.
You know, Chosen One's favorite guard coming in.
Chosen One's assistant, Squire, maybe.
I'm the assistant to the regional assistant of the Chosen One. Okay, come on.
Yeah, that's true. But
The assistant to the chosen assistant. Yeah. All right, where are you? Heavy armor. Give me that heavy fucking.
hey, man, if Henry dies, you know who's next in line?
Fuck, that's very.
No
upsetting.
one, because there's only one chosen one.
Yeah.
But
Can I sell him my medium? No, I'll put the medium armor in his cart.
yeah, I don't think he's gonna buy anything back from you guys at this point.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're not gonna bother with that.
We'll put the medium armor in the cart. I've got torches.
Now that the world isn't ending, this guy needs to make some savvy business decisions. So buying
True.
back shit, not gonna work.
Not the best option.
Yeah.
Gotta buy some more medicine box
Sure.
because I'm low now.
Wait. So really quick, Chris, are we considering the bandoliers of ammo, like the actual ammo as well? And I
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, keep track of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you just wanna, just take the powder shot item.
Yeah.
Because that counts as one weight for 10. So just put 2 of those
Oh,
on
okay.
on your character sheet, and that should work.
Okay.
You can get a fucking cannon in this game. It's 1,000 silver.
Oh, we're so close.
We have to fucking wheel it around.
4d10 damage. Oh my god, incredible.
Medicine box is only 15 silver. I'm gonna buy 2.
How many charges come in a medicine box?
D6 plus or 4 plus presence.
Hmm.
So I would get 7 uses out of 1. So 14 uses, and I'll put, like one of them in the cart, so we have some extra.
Yeah, just be sure you adhere to the cart's carrying capacity. I'm assuming it has one.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Small wagon is 15 according to this.
Okay, I was gonna say I think it's pretty significant. So, yeah, just keep a list of all the stuff that's in there.
Matt, do you want to keep a list, or do you want me to keep?
Actually,
like a
here,
note?
let me do this. I'll give you guys a new character sheet. We'll just call it wagon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go. Container.
Yeah, I've got a number of things that that are already in here, which we can rearrange or dump as needed.
Okay, let me guy gives you access to this. Okay, you guys should have it.
Chose wagon.
There you go.
Nice.
It's equally as important at this point. Deserves its own character sheet.
So 2 units and 4 medicine box. Kyle, you pulled the arquebus onto your.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, Zweihander, very sharp.
Yeah, that was from the first adventure, and then I got the Chaos Blade. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's right.
It's weird because basically what I've done is I've made sure there was one of these artifacts in every dungeon as like part of the reward, and I've rolled them all randomly. It's like a D66 table, and I just happened to roll like what is obviously one of the best items in the game for your first one, but it was also in a dungeon that also had a fucking Zweihander, so there were 2 Zweihanders in that dungeon for some reason. But whatever. That's how the dice rolled, so.
there was this poison that was in here for some reason as well.
I think that was from one of the characters.
Yeah. I've got 22 silver. Is there anything else I can buy to protect them? Chris, because I've got a sack, like a carrying sack, but it's not changing my weight. Does the sack do anything specific? It just says it holds 10 normal-sized items, but it's not adjusting my carrying capacity.
I don't know. I would just assume it's probably not that detailed in Foundry because it's Merkbor. So
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like you carry that and you carry the sack, because when I had the wagon on my character sheet, when stuff was in the wagon, it wouldn't count against me. And I think that's assuming it's like you're not like holding the wagon on your shoulders; it just exists somewhere.
Can you hold the sack? Does it? Oh, I see. 7 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's being carried. Oh, when I'm not carrying it, it's considered. Okay, so like I can just drop things in the sack and I'll have more carrying capacity, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, that sounds kind of like how Warhammer does it.
Let me see. If I drag the sack onto the cart, it only counts as one item. Okay. But it didn't move any of my items. Okay.
Yeah, I guess if there's a sack, is the carrying capacity for that.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that you're just like carrying around like a Santa bag over your shoulder, just stuffed with shit, right? Like random stuff in here.
Put it down, beat a dude to death with the axe, pick it back up, move to the next square.
Right, and then when you need to find something, you're digging around in this bag like a woman's purse, trying to find the item you need. Like, oh, we need the fucking medicine box. Where is it? I can't find it underneath all this chalk and dried food and plasmatic fools and artifacts.
Vrackh is dying. We need probably some amount of food. Since I assume this is going to be like a multi-week journey, right?
It will. It's not that far, but it will take several days to get there.
Okay.
Most of these dungeons have been within like a day or two's journey from Craven Ford. This one, they actually give you rules in one of the books for traveling. You can like roll. They have a map that kind of shows distances from various major locations, and you can roll to kind of randomize it. And then they explain if you want to make your world smaller or bigger, like how to modify those. So I did a smaller sized world, but it's still, for you guys, it's a big deal because you've never gone that far. And none of you have ever been like outside of Craven Ford other than, you know, going on some of these adventures. So yeah, like especially leaving the peninsula that you guys are on, Grift, and like having to cross one of the main bridges to get to the basically the rest of the continent, that's a big deal.
Okay, bought 10 food for 10 silver and a sack for 3. Okay. So, I guess water. Do we need water and food? Is that how it normally works?
Yeah, yes, you need water and food to live, yes.
Might purchase like a pack animal, go donkey.
Sure.
Or are we just employing that?
Take the horse.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, sure. We'll get the aggravating horse to help us.
Would light armor be on the table for me? I know they did the.
I literally have medium armor.
Oh, we do have
cart. I bought heavy armor, so there's medium armor in the cart.
Can that like be like resized? Because Dorp's a big old boy.
Fine. Yeah,
okay.
I don't think we need to worry about that at this point. Not when you've got 1,000 silver to fucking spend on everything.
Yeah.
This guy is a weird ass tank.
Range tank, my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is your gear and equipment ready to go?
I think so.
Well, we got a little bit of.
So, you took the medium armor, Kyle?
Yes.
Okay. That.
How many of your fellow guards are you going to take with you?
Ooh.
They're not going to participate in the adventure. They're simply going to be there just as replacements if anybody dies. So don't think like if you get to a problem, you're going to send in a unit of guards to do your work for you.
Okay.
They're basically there to accompany you, guard the wagon. Clearly, it's very important with all the shit you put in here. And, you know, act as cannon fodder should you need it. Also, the wagon is 1 over capacity, according to the chart.
Yeah. Let me see.
And we can throw some of the miscellanea out if we wanted. I don't know what the poison red. That was just in my inventory. I think that was something people had decided to purchase in a previous.
I think that came with one of the character classes. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
So,
can keep
we haven't really found a use for the poison because like we're never like being sneaky and shoveling it into people's food or anything. But you never know. Maybe we could have like given the poison out to like all the wine the snake people were gonna drink.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mess
I
that
mean,
one up.
I just removed the sack that I had bought because it was taking up an extra slot and it wasn't doing anything useful.
Okay.
So, yeah. So now we're at 15 of 15. I'm at 12 of 12.
All right. How many guards you taking with?
5?
Was about to say 5.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah, we can take 5 guards. That's fine.
What are we making multiple days?
Yeah, so I
We have,
got
like tents,
um
covered wagons.
yeah, 10's probably not a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah, you can get a tarp to cover the wagon. That's fine.
10's 12 silver. After I get the 3 back from that sack, I can buy 1 10, but I have nowhere to put it.
Okay. I can carry 1. I've got 1 capacity left.
Okay.
I mean, once we're camped, we can
Do
just.
we want to throw away the poison red? Or the single knife?
Oh yeah, the loose knife was something that I had as a backup. Left
Okay.
apart, so we can get rid of that as well.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay. Alright, I'll put my tent in there. And then, what was Vrackh carrying? He had the
Claw the Sloth.
yeah.
Dang it.
4 water skin or 4 worth of water.
Yeah.
Water skins, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll put the claw of the sloth in there.
Yeah. He didn't have much. Oh, the hurdy-gurdy.
There's 2 claws in there.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, the knife, the claw sloth was the only thing that I like applied anywhere because I saw it on the.
The hurdy-gurdy, no one else can use. It's a class item, so
Okay.
that's irrelevant.
Gotcha.
And then it's just 360 silver. So, but
Yeah.
we'll just gift that to
Kyle's character.
E2. Yeah,
Fucking put that in the sack and use that as a weapon.
from the.
Yeah. So fuck up a werewolf with a sack full of silver.
Yeah.
I beat the werewolf to death with the sack. Just fucking smash it over and
Yeah.
over.
Fucking brilliant.
All right. Well, you load up the Chosen One's wagon. You hitch it to Barbaster, the incredible horse, who, of course, only agrees to come with you after you bribe him with sugar cubes and other delicious horse food, like honey oats. And you head out with your small contingent of red shirts, who may or may not be named one day. And your new companion, Dorp, the heretical priest.
That's just a name for sure.
This fucking game is so good. Oh my god. Okay. So it is going to take you guys about 2 or 3 days to reach this bridge here. Hey, my pings are working. Excellent.
Nice.
So Cravenford is somewhere in the middle of Grift, okay, or on the peninsula that Grift is on. Grift is the city with the mad suicide king, and it takes about 2 days or so to get to the bridge, and you cross this thing called the Mur, which is just this endless, vast, black nothingness that separates this peninsula from the rest of the continent. The sheer cliff faces that just seem to go on forever. You can't see the bottom, you can't see if there's water down there, or if it's ground or a chasm, or just like something otherworldly. But you get to these bridges, well, this particular bridge, and it is enormous. This bridge stretches on for like what seems like a good mile. And with the fog and everything, when you get towards the center of the bridge, you can't even see, or you can't even see the other end of the bridge from one end. It's just so vast, and the stones that make this thing up are unlike anything you've ever seen in size. To you, to all of you, it seems like that this bridge could only have been created by giants or massive creatures. There's no conceivable way a regular human could have built this. It's not particularly ornate. It's more or less kind of like walking on a large battlement on a fortress. It's got crenellations on the side. But the size and scope is just unfathomable to you guys. You could probably easily have several regiments worth of an army marching side by side across this bridge and have plenty of room to spare. So just the 8 of you in your wagon does not take up much room at all. I need you to please roll. Hold on, I gotta make sure I'm looking at the right chart here. Okay, I need a... okay, I see. Someone please roll me a D3.
Okay, I'll throw that out there. No one wants to. Oh, 1.
Okay. I don't think I have all my tables in here. I gotta pull up the book. Hold on. Okay, now roll me a D20.
I'll do that.
Sounds good.
A 5.
Okay. And... okay, so I then need you to please roll a... oh, wrong book. I think this is a D8, but let me double check. A D12, please.
88?
No, sorry, I said a D12.
Oh, I thought it was one after the other. My bad. Okay, and a D12. A 6.
It's a 9.
9. Oh. I was looking at the dice, my bad.
So as you travel further north towards the bridge, and as you begin to cross the bridge, it begins to get incredibly cold. There is this crackling, almost glimmering frost that seems to cover most of the bridge. Your feet crunching, cracking every step along the way. Makes the journey across the bridge quite precarious, very almost alone, you feel, as this chill just kind of seems to suck the warmth out of you. It feels like forever as you guys cross this, what seems to be never-ending bridge, but eventually, after what feels like almost a full day of travel, you reach the other side, and when you look back, you cannot see the other side of the bridge. You can no longer see the peninsula where Cravenford sits. Instead, up ahead to the north, to the kind of northeast of where you're currently standing, to the northwest, you can see the tall, dark, forbidding trees of the forest of Sarkash. And as the days go on, your journey, you draw closer and closer, and it takes about 2 days to cross the bridge. You guys set up camp, call it a night, and then begin to head out the following day. Takes another 3 days or so to reach the outskirts, the edge of the Sarkash forest. Please roll me another D3.
All right, someone else got this one.
Oh, good. Here we go.
All right, and
One.
roll me a D20, please.
Okay. Yeah. 17.
All right. The only thing of note as you guys are traveling is you come across an abandoned graveyard on the side of the road. And you think maybe this is towards the outskirts of the massive graveyard known as Graven Tosk, but you're not sure. It seems to be its own little separate graveyard. However, there is a old crumbling chapel alongside this graveyard. It reminds you a little bit of the graveyard back at Cravenford because it's so simple. Just a little crumbling stone wall along the outside, like maybe 2 feet tall. Graves that are dilapidated and clearly have seen better days. And you see this old crumbling, chapel alongside. Do you guys stop to investigate or press on to the forest?
I think we can check it out. Maybe it'll give us clues. But
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we will call it at that for tonight as you guys stop your little convoy and decide to go investigate and see if there's anything worthwhile here. And then we will be on to the dark trees of Sarkash and the valley of the Death Ziggurat.
oh man,
Wow. What a session. That was different. Well, Vrackh, we will remember you. And, think about what you've done.
Yeah. Henry spends as much time as possible just like sitting on the cart while traveling, staring into the sky. Like, will it all be worth it?
We will find out, listeners. We're nearing the end of our Merkbor campaign, and then we will be on to greater things. Thank you, as always, for stopping by to check out what's going on. We appreciate you coming along for the ride. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode. We'll be back next week with more Merkbor and more goodness beyond that. So we will see you all same time, same place next week. Nighty night.